The participants. In the heart of every athlete and exerciser is an intricate blend of thoughts, emotions, motivations, and behaviors, the essence of what we call personality. This module seeks to delve deep into what composes personality, the diverse ways we've attempted to identify it, and its crucial role in the realm of sport and exercise. Personality is the unique blend of characteristics that makes a person distinct. It encompasses patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving that remain relatively consistent over time and across situations. In the realm of sport and exercise, understanding personality is crucial. It can shed light on an athlete's motivations, predict potential behaviors in certain situations, and even guide training and coaching techniques. Various approaches have been adopted to understand and delineate personality. One such approach is the psychodynamic approach. Rooted in the work of figures like Freud, this perspective looks deep into the unconscious mind, seeking to unravel the underlying motives and conflicts that shape behavior. In sport, Erwin Appice, a Swedish sport psychologist, applied this approach, specifically focusing on athletes' defense mechanisms. But while the psychodynamic perspective dives deep into the unconscious, other models, like the trait approach, look at consistent patterns in behavior. Trait theorists argue that we can categorize individuals based on certain characteristics, like extroversion or neuroticism, which remain relatively stable over time. Measuring personality. Given the abstract nature of personality, its measurement poses challenges. However, various tools and tests have been designed for this purpose. These can range from structured questionnaires to in-depth interviews. When dealing with athletes, it's critical to approach such assessments with sensitivity and clarity. Athletes should understand the purpose of these tests, and once concluded, they should receive specific feedback concerning test results. Assessing validity and practicality. Just because a test claims to measure personality doesn't mean it does so accurately or even ethically. It's vital to scrutinize personality assessments for their validity. Does the test measure what it claims to measure? And practicality. Is the test feasible and applicable in real-world settings? Moreover, ethical considerations, such as informed consent and confidentiality, should never be compromised. Personality and behavior in sport and exercise. Studies consistently show a connection between personality and behavior in sport and exercise contexts. For instance, an individual with a competitive streak might thrive in high-pressure games. Understanding these links can aid in crafting training regimens tailored to an athlete's unique personality. Cognitive strategies and athletic success. Beyond the broad strokes of personality, specific cognitive strategies have been linked to athletic success. Techniques like visualization, self-talk, and goal setting can be pivotal in an athlete's performance. By mastering these cognitive tools, athletes can harness their mental strength to complement their physical prowess. Interpreting personality in sport and exercise settings. In a world where an athlete's every move might be scrutinized, understanding personality becomes even more crucial. Coaches, trainers, and even teammates can benefit from understanding an individual's psychological makeup. This knowledge can foster better communication, improve team dynamics, and even predict how an athlete might respond in high-pressure situations. While the surface of the sports field is often physical, underneath lie layers of psychological complexities. By studying and understanding personality, we not only get to know the athlete better but can also tailor interventions, strategies, and training to fit their unique psychological mold. Sport isn't just about physical prowess, it's a dance between the mind and body. And in this dance, personality plays an instrumental tune. Motivation. Next, let's explore what fuels athletes and individuals in sports and exercise. This driving force, known as motivation, can be described as both the direction and intensity of effort. Have you ever wondered why two people participating in the same sport might have completely different levels of enthusiasm? The answer lies in how motivation is perceived. Some believe motivation is an inborn characteristic. That's the trait-centered view. Think of it like an athlete's inherent drive that pushes them forward. On the other hand, the situation-centered view stresses the environment's role. Imagine a football player who's more fired up during a championship game than during a practice match. That heightened motivation? It's coming from the situation itself. Then there's the interactional view, a blend of both. It tells us that motivation thrives when personal attributes and the surrounding situation harmonize. A clear example can be seen when considering athletes' responses to competition. Some athletes might be more motivated when competing against those with superior skills. That's the influence of situational factors at play. Achievement motivation. Achievement motivation, in simple terms, is the yearning to excel. Various theories provide insights into it. For instance, in the need achievement theory, there's a balance between the desire to achieve success and the fear of failing. But it's more than just about achieving success. The motivation also factors in how likely success is, probability, and how rewarding that success might be, incentive value. However, it doesn't concern itself with seeking approval from others. The attribution theory makes you question, why did I succeed, or fail? It's all about how we interpret our achievements and setbacks. Similarly, other theories, like the achievement goal theory, focus on the goals athletes set, while the competence motivation theory centers on one's need to feel adept and skillful. Delving into perfectionism. Now, about perfectionism. While chasing perfection might seem commendable, it's a double-edged sword. Perfectionists, especially those lacking coping mechanisms, often find themselves at the crossroads of psychological challenges. In the realm of sports, this quest for perfection is multifaceted. Athletes may feel the weight of parental or coach expectations, set high personal standards for themselves, or dread making mistakes. But not all pressures are common. For instance, feeling the pressure from teammates isn't a typical dimension of sport-specific perfectionism. A holistic picture. To understand an athlete's behavior and performance, it's essential to recognize that it's not just motivation that plays a role. Aspects like physiology, biomechanics, and sociological factors intertwine to influence outcomes. For many, the reasons to engage in sports vary, from the sheer joy of the game and the company of friends to the intent of honing skills or staying fit. However, one thing is clear, doing it merely to appease parents isn't a primary motive. The ideal scenario is to foster an autonomous and integrated form of motivation, allowing individuals to gauge when it's right to engage in competition or shift the focus to personal growth. So, the next time you watch an athlete, know that beneath the surface, a complex interplay of factors determines their drive and performance. Here's to unlocking the potential of motivation, stress, arousal, and anxiety in athletic performance. Looking even deeper into the world of athletes, we can look at not just their physical prowess but their minds as well. The words stress, arousal, and anxiety often float around when discussing athletic performance. And no, they aren't just fancy jargon. Each term packs its own meaning and significance. Imagine you're preparing for a major competition. The crowd is massive, and expectations are sky-high. You might feel a weight, a kind of pressure, that's stress. It happens when you sense there's an uneven scale between what's demanded of you and what you believe you can deliver. Now, while you're there in the midst of it all, your heart might race, and your senses may be on high alert. You might oscillate between feeling super pumped and suddenly very drowsy. That's arousal, the blend of your physical and psychological activation. Think of it as a spectrum ranging from deep slumber to utmost exhilaration. But wait, amidst all this, you might also grapple with a certain unease, a negative emotion, making you apprehensive. A voice in your head might say, "What if I fail?" Say hello to anxiety. When your body kicks into high gear due to this uneasy emotion, that's when you encounter symptoms like profuse sweating, increased muscle tension, or even sleeping difficulties. And just to clarify, slowed breathing doesn't typically come into play with heightened anxiety. Interestingly, anxiety isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's layered, made up of cognitive components, like worry, which is not a physical symptom, and somatic components. And then there are trait and state components. Trait anxiety is like your baseline, it's a part of you. State anxiety, on the other hand, flares up based on specific situations. Ever heard about self-generated emotions in athletes? These feelings arise from within and can influence how an athlete performs. Surprisingly, happiness and anger, two very contrasting emotions, can elevate performance levels. Frustration, though? Not so much. It's crucial to understand that anxiety isn't always the bad guy. Here's something intriguing. Not every athlete responds to anxiety the same way. Some might crumble, but others? They thrive. For certain athletes, anxiety acts as a catalyst, pushing them to even greater heights in their performance. The crux is not just the intensity of the anxiety, but how one perceives it. If an athlete views it as a tool, a boost, then the chances are they might outdo themselves. So, for those coaching or guiding athletes, remember this interactional model of motivation. Your role isn't just about techniques and strategies. It's about creating an ambience of positivity, a space where mistakes and losses are seen as growth points, not failures. In essence, to truly appreciate and uplift an athlete, delve deeper than the surface, understand their stress, arousal, and anxiety, and use them as tools for growth.